Okay, Millennium back. The E3's press conference just got done. They called their press conference Game Changers, so I was a little interested in seeing that. They started off with another Mass Effect 3 demo. It looked a lot like a third-person shooter. A little curious about that. They're kind of getting away from the RPG element, so it was a little weird. Just like every third-person shooter, or for shooters in general, this matter, Mass Effect had this minigun turret sequence, which is just against a Reaper, which is just really strange. I didn't... Then, John Riccitiello came out and kept plugging the Origin service. Like, they kept plugging it at the end of every demo. It was a little weird. The next game they showed up was Need for Speed The Run, which is another Need for Speed game. The concept of it initially sounded really, really, really awesome in that it's a consistent race between Los Angeles and New York. And it's a timed run, and it's an online infrastructure thing where you can race your times against your friends online, what have you. This sounded really good, up until the point where he's like, yeah, you can get out of your car now. Which is just bizarre. It truly is very bizarre. There was this whole sequence where his car was crashed, he had to get out and run from the police, and he was jumping off buildings like some freaking superhero. It was retarded. Then he came to a point where he fights a cop and then jacks the cop car and then starts getting away with the cop car. It was very bizarre. I don't understand why you'd want to get out of your vehicle. Okay, whatever. BioWare came back on for Star Wars The Old Republic. Didn't actually show anything from it. They showed a trailer that we've seen from like last year, and then they were like, "Oh, nothing I could say or show you here can tell you how big the game is. Check it out on the floor." And then they were gone. It was okay, whatever. SSX came out. The Reboot was next. This looks really awesome. They took downtime satellite pictures of the Earth from NASA, and they used that to interpret the world's biggest mountain ranges on a open world game. So they say you can go anywhere and explore anywhere on these mountains, which is pretty awesome. It does look pretty good. They're going to be announcing a bunch of different characters throughout the week or something along those lines. They dropped another Origin plug, and then they said January 2012 for SSX. That is something I am actually interested in. Then they came out. They did this big push for FIFA 12. They doing a lot of different systems for defending and dribbling and a player impact engine, and it looked pretty impressive. I really don't care for sports games, period. So it was And then the same thing for Madden 12 has the player impact engine, and then they had a bunch of players come on stage. It was Peyton Hillis, Clay Matthews, and someone else whom I didn't catch his name. I don't watch football, so I don't even know who it was. It had a purple jersey with a number 52 on it, if I remember correctly. So I don't watch football, so I don't watch sports, period, really. So, John Riccitiello came back online. He kept coming back on stage after every single demo, and then he announced The Sims Social, which is a Facebook game, which is very interesting. A pretty good move, actually, because then he made this awesome burn to Farmville. He was like, people are sick and tired of their farming games. That was pretty funny, I have to say. Then Kurt Schilling from 38 Studios came on and demoed Kingdoms of Amalur: The Reckoning. Looks like another action RPG, another one that has something to do with you're the hero, and there's magic and there's swords, and it's nothing special, really, honestly. You've seen it. There's 100 games coming out nowadays that have exactly that. I mean, Hunted the Demon's Forge just came out, and that's basically what it looked like. It was bizarre. Insomniac. This is the first game on my list that actually got a star through the entire event. Insomniac came out and announced their multi-platform game for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 called Overstrike. It's a multi-platform game. Near future, a squad of what can be described as misfits. They're mercenaries. The trailer is hilarious. This game actually looks pretty damn funny. Something definitely to look forward to. A lot of humor in it. They demoed Battlefield 3. They did a tech demo of the Frostbite Engine 2, which looked very impressive. They showed a pre-recorded footage of an actual multiplayer map in Paris. It looked like a regular first-person shooter multiplayer thing. It didn't really get too they cut the thing up into like a montage kind of thing, so it didn't look all that coherent and clear cut. But they went into a very lengthy demo of the actual single player, which looked very impressive. They were running it on a high-end PC, so I don't know how the console versions will work, but the actual, like the smoke and the particle effects and the draw distance is incredible looking. So that actually looks very good. Second star of the E3. So, you know, there's that. Then they said October 25th for Battlefield 3. They said they're coming out with a service that's very similar to Call of Duty Elite, and then they burned it by, you know, they made a joke about it, and then they were like, oh yeah, by the way, it's free. So they're going to take advantage of all the people who don't want to deal with the Call of Duty Elite and not pay for it. So that's actually a very smart move on their part. And pretty much that was the end of the press conference. I say very short, very concise. Could have been more, but it wasn't bad. So I'm gonna give EA a pretty good pass. I don't think it'd be enough to quote unquote win E3, but definitely not the fireball inferno that Microsoft was. So Ubisoft is next, and stay tuned. Be back later.